Good afternoon, guys. Happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I need to go hop in the shower, and then when I come out, honestly, guys, I think I'm going to get back to what I was doing because my mom, okay, guys, lately she has been obsessed with watching, I think it's Peaky Blinders on Netflix. Which I've heard about it, and I actually did want to watch it, but my mom's been watching it. I don't know how many seasons there are, but right now she's like binging through the entire thing. And so while she's been doing that, she's trying to ask me questions about like the family research that I've done and all that kind of stuff, because I have like the copies of our family Bible and like a whole bunch of other papers and things like that. And so she was asking me if I wanted to, or like if I wanted to show her some of this stuff, because that whole time era kind of fits in with like our family and stuff like that. And I think I told you guys that as well when I watched, I think it was called Alias Grace. It was like a one season, like a few episodes, I think also on Netflix. And it kind of fit into that whole time frame as well. And so my mom's been really interested, because I guess that there's actually, from what we found out, was that there's a specific type or specific like area or something like that where like the Irish immigrated from Scotland, or like, yeah, I think that they were actually Scottish but came to Ireland and then were like living there, and then like our family immigrated then to Canada after that, then to the US. Some areas like that were like near like, I don't know, the Scottish, like Irish or something like that, and like something like that, which is what I found, and then kind of contradicted what I found later, so I don't really know, which is why, guys, I'm back on this. But they refer to like the people that are like Scottish Irish like mix kind of as like gypsies in the show. And so my mom was like, oh, I wonder if that's like us, because that was what like in like certain, like again, different areas, I guess they talk about like the regions and stuff like that. Again, I haven't actually watched the show, but my mom is very convinced that it sounds a lot like our family, and just like a lot of the research that was done going into the show is like pretty cool, that it actually does follow up, and we are actually kind of like finding more out about our family because of it. And so like I never really looked into like, oh, if you were from this area, or you know, if you came from that spot, like what did that mean or anything like that. My mom's more into that. I'm about like hard facts, like were we actually in that area like during that time or whatever. And so the first time I went through, which was what I was trying to pull up for my mom with some of the information on here. The first time I went through, I didn't keep very good records of like how I found the information and stuff like that. And we have a lot of like hard physical copies of like what would be my great-great-grandfather's naturalization papers, my like death certificates, birth certificates from a lot of family members as well. We have all of those actual like physical like copies and stuff like that. We also have, like I showed you guys, a copy of our family Bible, which holds a lot of information in there. Although it's like, I kind of take that with a semi-grain of salt, only because you know, it's not an official document or anything like that, even though honestly, guys, I found tons and tons of discrepancies in the official documents as well with other things that I found or have like heard, or other information that I can verify it against. Like I think on my great-grandfather's side of the family, which I'm doing my great-grandmother's side on my grandma's side, his, like my great-grandpa's mom, like her information was all over the place. Like there was not good records kept on her at all. I could not, it was very hard to like, she like had went by like 3 different last names. I know she was like married once, and then like obviously her maiden name, and then I don't know if she was married again or she just changed her last name so that she didn't like keep the like husband that she had, I guess, had left or whatever, his last name. Or like what happened, but I never found any records that she got remarried, and never found like any husband, and nobody could tell me that she ever had a second husband, but she ended up changing her name to not like back to her maiden name. So it's like really weird. And so like I said, I don't know necessarily that she ever did get remarried, but I haven't ever been able to find any like, you know, that kind of information, like why was her name changed. Her birth date also in several different papers were also like different. So I don't know why, and those are all, again, official documents that are actually like my great grandpa had. So I don't know like why or how like all this stuff was like not kept very well. So, but with it being, like I said, like the family Bible, I do kind of take it roughly and then try and find out more information on like the web to try and like, again, match up those kind of things. But even that too, like I said, sometimes can be a little different. Actually today though, when I was doing this, I found out that one of my great grandmother's brothers, which on 3 different papers I all found was his birth date was, I think, 1922, but I found his gravestone, which has to be his. It is in the cemetery that I actually have also his like mass card for, or whatever they call that, and all of them said the exact same year. That the family Bible, I think there was one other thing too. I think he was listed on the naturalization papers as well, which would have fit perfectly with the same date. But on his tombstone, the year was just 1 year off. I think it was 1923. And so like that kind of stuff, like it can get really confusing when you're doing this, because obviously somewhere something got screwed up. The like death dates down to the day was correct, and the birthday days were correct and month, but the year was 1 year off. So I'm like, I can't see, and there's nobody else in that cemetery that has the same name as him, so I don't know like how that could be possible. So and like I said though, from the mass card it says he was buried in that cemetery, so I know that that has to be him. But again, it's 1 year off, like unless there's somebody else that has died on the exact same day, has the exact same first and last name and middle initial, and you know, and so I'm not thinking that that's right. Like I'm thinking that somewhere something got kind of screwed up across doing something. But yeah, so like that kind of stuff can be really frustrating when you're trying to research like genealogy, because like one, you know, wrong number and it could look like it's completely off or it's not the right person, and sometimes it might not be, especially if they have a really common last name or first name or something like that. So it's really frustrating. But yeah, I realized the first time kind of that I was going through this, like I think over a year, almost 2 years ago that I started doing this. I wasn't keeping like really good records of like where I was finding things, the information, all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to make sure that if I find anything online, I link back to it. I also, I think a few months ago, scanned in all of the documents, and I have it stored on my computer so that I can also link that into what I'm doing just on, I have it on Keynote on my Mac. Because for me it's easier to like do it that way. I'm just really used to using like PowerPoint for my computer, but I still don't have that yet. And so I've been using Keynote on my Mac right now. I like to use PowerPoint more just because I think it's a little bit more fluid. Like it feels harder to control on my Mac. And I'm just more used to it. I've been using it for like since like forever. I honestly think I had like the 2008 version or something like that, or 2006 version or something, I don't even know. When like we ever first got like a laptop that like I could use, we had like Microsoft Office on there, and I would use PowerPoint, so I'm really familiar with it. And as it's upgraded, like I've gotten more familiar with it, but like with Keynote it just doesn't feel as fluid, so I like to use that more. But yeah, since I still haven't bought my Microsoft Office yet, I'm using this. But yeah, so that's why I can link back to anything that I find and like keep that information as well. And then my mom like has scribbles written down on papers from when she was doing this. Like she used to be really big into it like when I was little, and then never really did it again. And then I think I told you guys like after my grandma had passed away, I got a whole bunch of her stuff and like other things like that, and was able to kind of piece together a lot more, especially with the help of the internet, that at the time my mom was doing it was probably not as like accessible, or like the information, you know, people posted obviously a lot more and shared a lot more things as well since then. I think, which not like I was born in like, you know, the early days of the internet, but still it was like, you know, 20 something years ago. So, you know, like I said, there's more information available out there, and free sites, and people loading, like, you know, I told you guys I think about that Find a Grave website. It's like one of my favorite ones, because it's really easy to like find people, like I said, in the cemetery when you know that they're there. But so I have a whole bunch of pieces of paper with my mom like scribbling things out, like look for records of so and so, or this person might be related, or that person showed up on the same census record, or like all kinds of like random little things all over the place. And I'm like, holy cow. Like she's got like little scraps of paper like written on the back of like receipts. I was like, you didn't have paper like that you could just write things down with? So I have a whole bunch of tiny scraps as well of things that like my mom was looking at that I'm trying to also see like, oh yeah, that did actually match up, like she was on the right track with something. And so like what I found, but most of the stuff that she found like probably way more than what she had started out with. So yeah guys, I've got I had good stuff that I got done today, and I told you guys I also have more errand stuff that I have to run tomorrow as well. Tomorrow like afternoon, and I don't really know how long it's supposed to take. I'm not thinking like more than an hour, but I don't know, we'll see. I got 2 vlogs edited today too. I told you guys how I had 2 done, but they were like, I skipped over one day, so I edited the other 2 so I can upload those 4 tomorrow. I also did dishes today. I think I did laundry, or maybe I think I finished laundry. I might have a load still in the washing machine I need to get in the dryer, but I do need to take a shower, and like I said, if I can pull myself away from this, I probably will. If not, I don't know, I might be up longer, guys. I honestly have been trying to go to bed this week, and I'm just like kind of at this point like I'll just start next week because it's Wednesday. I'm not getting up any earlier. So anyways guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.